Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Vibe Nation. Today we're here to watch another video. Today we're here to watch NEET Logic. It is a Millennial Thinker video. I'm wondering this has to deal with NEET roommates from the last video that we saw after our character kicked his two friends out because they were doing nothing but just laying around. They wouldn't do anything, pay any bills, they would make messes, and even one dude's mom had to come and clean their place because they were too lazy to do their own stuff. Like I said, terrible and irresponsible behavior. So I saw that he made this video and I completely I didn't even notice it until after I posted the last video. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. If this video doesn't come out today, most likely it won't, but if it does come out, it'll definitely come out next week. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into this. If you want to watch the original video, links will be in the description down below like they always are. And let's go in 3, 2, 1, and play.
Everything seems fine, but right now, we are looking for someone with higher education.
Then everything isn't fine.
Just like that.
Yeah.
You wanted to work, now you see.
So tomorrow you have a day off.
Obviously.
That's cool, we can hang around and smoke or something.
Guys, how it's like here.
Pretty chilly actually.
It's alright. The first year is the hardest.
Yeah, at first you may feel that something is missing, and after some time you just lose track of time and you just stop thinking about it.
It was different for me. I didn't give a damn about anything, and then I had certain moments when I went to bed and I had panic attacks. Sometimes I was waking at night with my heart pumping.
And
nothing. I figured it was better than losing your health working yourself to death.
Based, I had the same.
I'm telling you man, these normies spend all day at work in some corporation, just to have a chance for a better future, and the truth is that nothing is certain.
yeah.
Of course, it is. People work all their lives and what do they get? Not even a thank you, just get kicked out of their job after all years of hard work because it is better to hire some younger worker in your place for whom there are subsidies.
In fact, let me tell you this, humans don't need as much in their life.
Tell him bro.
Well, I have easy access to tap water, there is the internet, girls are also there, food whatever how bad is, you will not die of hunger anyway. So why even bother? I can live at my own pace, and I don't.
But my question is that you are able to obtain all these things, but through what means? That's my question. You're able to get water, okay? You can drink out of tap water, not necessarily my first choice, but it's water. You can get, but then there's internet, which you need to pay for internet, unless you're mooching off of somebody else's internet. You need food, which you also need to survive unless you're mooching off of somebody else's food. Like I'm thinking of everything that comes from the NEET roommate video where the guys had internet, TV, food, water, they had all that stuff and they didn't have to work for it whatsoever because their friend was facilitating them. Like it was just for free, basically for free. So when I hear this, I'm like, they're probably either one mooching off of somebody else, and that person who they're mooching off has no problem with that, or two, they're stealing this stuff. So my question is how? Okay, maybe going further in, maybe they'll explain how they're getting all this stuff. This is the way I was brought up is that if you don't work, you don't eat, or you don't get your own stuff and live your own way. So yeah.
Don't need too much.
But you still live with your parents.
And what?
You are dependent on them. Without their help, you would not have as easy a time as you have now.
I would get a pension or dole.
Pension? You haven't worked a single day for 30 years.
I had a job, on holidays in 2015.
And how was it?
Not so bad. I remember that after we closed a bar, we always take all unfinished bottles, and went to house parties with them. I saved a lot of money with that. Oh yeah, those were the best days.
But she's still hanging around at the back of the high school.
Yes, but now it's something else.
Why?
It's a bit of a hassle when you have to buy all alcohol every time.
And it doesn't bother you somehow,
What do you mean?
being a NEET.
No.
I support you on that statement.
Aren't you ashamed?
What should I be ashamed of?
You know, this. In front of family and friends.
I'm not seeing my old buddies anymore, but if something happened I have always an excuse for any question.
Like what, for example?
Crypto.
Right. And you?
My father got used to it. My mum sometimes take a jab at me, but I found a way to slip under the radar.
For 5 years?
Yeah, easy peasy.
Teach me, master.
Somehow I can't believe you can just slip under their radar for a half a decade.
It is pretty easy actually. At the beginning, after his work, my father just stood at my door and stared at me menacingly. Later, they started to talk with me about my future at the table, so I just started to eat in my room. Then I found out that if I was polite and did all the chores, they would have nothing on me. I quickly realized that all they're talking about my lack of work starts with either dirty room or left dishes. That's why you
Well, this is what I'll say. Let's look at it like this. You're living in somebody else's house. You're not paying, you don't have any money for food, rent. So you have to find a reason to contribute to the household. So what you would do is either take the food that's being used and use it to feed to cook and feed. If you know how to cook, you can go in and feed everybody, or you can do cleaning, clean the bathroom, clean your room, do vacuuming, do stuff like that. Do something to go ahead and, you know, help out around the house, wash dishes, do something to contribute. So at least people say, well, he may not contribute with money, but he does contribute by helping around the house majority of the time. We'll just say you do 70% of the house chores and everybody else does like the other 30%, something like that. So I guess the reason why they stopped talking about it is like, well, he doesn't go ahead and bring in money, but at least he makes our lives easier by cleaning around the house. At least that's something, in a way.
You have to be smart and agile like a dragonfly. Avoid blows, and do not respond aggressively. If they enter your room and try to talk to you, just nod and let them speak. Later, they won't feel like sitting with you anyway, and they'll go and do their own business.
Very good plan, very nice.
Years of practice.
I don't know if it's such a good life plan.
What is better? Working all day long just to pay taxes on some strangers and their children.
What children?
How many times when I leave the house I see these mothers and their 4 or 5 kids running around like wild animals. Each of them probably gets some kind of state aid for a large family. And sometimes they even get divorced on purpose and shacking up together just to collect additional benefits for single mothers.
Yeah, paying for someone else's children is a form of cocking. Are you a cock?
No.
Well, neither am I, and I'm not going to work my ass off so some strangers have more than me.
And what will happen when your parents will not be able to pay for you? No one lives forever.
My parents are in their mid-50s, so they still have time.
This is just sad, bro. Like, literally, he said, oh, they still have time. So you're planning to go ahead and leech off your parents until they die. That is repulsive. Like maybe it's just the way he said it. No matter, even if he said it that way, that's just repulsive. Like, why would I go ahead and allow myself to? I learned I could say at a young age that if you want something and you don't want it taken from you, you go buy it yourself per the law. So that way that you don't get it taken from you. So if I want a car and I want to have that car, I would have the funds to go buy that car. And where do those funds come? Having a job or starting a business. And at least then, while starting a business, you can go ahead and you're not worried about getting fired. You're just trying to worry about keeping your business afloat. Sure, depending on who you asked or depending on what business model you're going for. I mean, that varies. But I can tell you this much: I'm not happy about the fact that this guy says that, oh, they're 50, they still have time. No, 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 no. I don't like that at all.
Don't know how old my parents are.
Okay, but when they are 70 years old, what then? Are you going to be afraid that maybe it's their last day?
Who lives only 70 years nowadays? Average is what? 85? 90?
It can't be that high.
I once heard that there was a woman who lived 110 years.
Well, that will be 50 years of receiving a retirement pension. My parents are still working, so I still have some time.
My mother earns a lot. She will have a high pension.
I live alone.
What for?
Go back to your parents and tell them there is a difficult economic situation, inflation, and such, and just chill for a few months.
And then?
Time will verify.
Being this carefree must be nice.
Of course it is. And why stress? The government wants you to be under constant health problems all the time only for you to die prematurely, so they don't have to pay you your pension.
Like in the case of your parents.
If you don't like it, just go on and work all day in your low-wage job, so I can have more tendies.
Apparently
So
so.
my question is that with that logic, saying that they want you to die, the government wants you to die prematurely, so they don't have to pay you a pension, right? So what does it say about your parents? If they are working, and then by that logic, doesn't if they die prematurely, doesn't that mean that they don't get a pension? So what does it mean for you? Huh? I can tell you much that if you're not living right, I can tell you much, you're not getting that pension. Apparently your parents' pension is to become your pension. Become communist. It's my pension. No, our pension. No, like no. Oh wow.
So, but I'm not going to flip burgers for the bare minimum.
Well, college spoiled all of us.
A little bit.
So why
College
don't you just
spoiled you,
join
huh?
us? Come on, it'll be fun.
No.
You will meet new friends. We'll sit here, talk and pirate a few games. It'll be fun.
Illegal,
And
but
then?
okay.
Whatever happens, happens.
Really? Don't fall for this.
I agree, it was fun at first. I was able to do things for which I had no time before. Everyone is rushing forward, and I'm standing still. No goals, no meaning, just pure fun, or so I think. The morning coffee at 12 o'clock tastes a little different now, more bitter than sweet. Can I go back after all these years? My CV has large holes in it, so it will be very difficult to explain to my future employers. Well, I have to go back to my computer. The internet won't watch itself.
Was it worth it, son?
Every habit we cultivate can become our greatest asset or a curse. That is true. It all depends on your mentality. If you're like the kind of go-getter, high ambitions, and you're ready to go ahead and take the world by storm, you will go ahead and cultivate something like you'll become a millionaire or you'll live a life very comfortably. And if your goals are to like you want to start a family by this age, and you set out to do that, you will do that, and that's where it says your greatest asset. But if you're just like these guys and you want to go ahead and just stand still and let life pass you by and become lazy for the rest of your life, and then look back on it and be like, oh, my resume has all these holes in it, it'll be hard to explain to my employers on why I wasn't working for all this time. Why should they go ahead and give you a chance? And I like at the end where like his dad was like, was it worth it, son? Because now he's starting to think like, oh, I guess like it wasn't really as worth it as it wasn't as sweet as they thought it was. Yeah, it wasn't as sweet as they thought. So now he's kind of regretting his choices of just becoming a NEET himself. Trust me, the ideas of certain things sound sweet until they are put into practice. Some may say, "Oh, this is the best thing," but for you, really, if you think about it, it may not have been what you wanted at all. And so, yeah, that's what I got to say about that. I would tell anybody, please don't go ahead and try and be lazy and just sit on your butt, sit on your hands, and think that, oh, everything's gonna be just everything work out. And the fact is, like, leeching off of somebody else. Once something happens to that person you're leeching off, this directly affects you because now you have nothing. You have no money. You have nothing to fall back on. Your whole plan was to leech off somebody, and then bam, you're in a tough financial situation as they are. No, I definitely wasn't raised that way, and I definitely won't go ahead and fall for that kind of nonsense. No. So, yeah, guys, that was NEET logic. It really shows the idea of what a NEET will think and how they perceive life and whatnot. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been Vibe Nation. I appreciate seeing you guys all day. Well, not all day. I'm glad to see you guys again. So I'm gonna try to see if I can work. I still haven't had my desk. We just came out from a hurricane, so I'm hoping to get that desk taken care of soon, so I can go ahead and go back to the way things are. But thank you guys for watching. This has been Vibe Nation, and I will see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.